Data move as fast in copper cable as it does in fiber optics. Let's see why. Make it short, yes, electrons move slower in copper than light in fiber optics. But in that case, we don't really care about moving electrons. What we want is to move data fast, and that is done through waves. To compare, in copper, electrons move from copper atoms to copper atoms at a speed of around 10 kilometers an hour. Obviously, data on the internet moves a little bit faster than 10 kilometers an hour. That's why it's easy to understand that that's not how data is moved on copper. Even though it's slower than fiber optic, it is not that slow. A simplification of what happens in a copper cable would be to think about a cable in which you push an electron in one end, triggering a chain of reaction of pushing all the electrons already inside the copper cable and making the last electron pops out at the other end immediately or almost immediately. This is the wave process, very similar to the waves in the sea, where you got energy moving through water in the sea. In that case, we got data moving through electrons and through atoms inside of the copper cable. As it turns out, a wave through a copper cable moves at around 200,000 kilometers a second, which makes more sense based on how fast the internet is running. So great, data moves at 200,000 kilometers a second, but light goes faster, doesn't it? It's supposed to be 300,000 kilometers a second. Let's assume that fiber optics works really simply, as it's just a tube in which we are shooting light on one end and light goes out on the other end. That simple, in a straight line, no issues of any kind. The speed of light that we often hear, that we learn at school, which is around 300,000 kilometers a second, is for the vacuum of space, and it is assumed that it's close enough for in air. But fiber optics are not made of air nor vacuum. Those are made of plastic or glass. And as it turns out, there is an index of refraction that applies to it, which is around 1.4 for that type of materials, which means that light in those materials go 1.4 times slower than in the vacuum of space. So if we do the math, we're going to have 300,000 kilometers a second divided by 1.4, which leads us to a result of around 214,000 kilometers a second inside of a fiber optic. So data in copper and data in fiber optics goes approximately at the same speed? Why? I thought fiber optics were faster. Is it a conspiracy or? Well, no, this is just because of attenuation and perturbation. For the sake of this explanation, I will have to simplify things drastically. One way of thinking about it would be that in a copper cable, you could send a high frequency signal to indicate a 1 and a low frequency signal to indicate a 0. That would work, but that would be very slow, because you can push it further and you can send a really high frequency to indicate a 1-1 and a medium high frequency to indicate a 1-0 and a slower frequency for 0-1 and a very slow frequency for 0-0. You can repeat that same process with more and more bytes in each frequency that you are encoding. The issue is that the more frequency you add in your system, the closer they're gonna get to each other, and a slight shift, an error, whatever random stuff happen might lead to an error in the end where one frequency is gonna be read as another one. And that is where fiber optics shine compared to copper cables. They are really robust regarding attenuation and perturbation, which allows you to send very complex symbols without any fear of them being destroyed in the process of being sent. So that is why fiber optics are so great compared to copper cable. It has nothing to do with laser nor the speed of light, which I must admit is disappointing. It has everything to do with resistance to attenuation and perturbation, which allows us to pump more data into the cables. I don't know, you may subscribe if you want. I don't know if you want more videos like that. Is that what I'm supposed to ask? Yeah.